Okay, we're live.
Oh, fuck. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Brian McCarthy Interview Show. If you're watching, then it's either on YouTube or on Facebook. And I know I put this doesn't matter to anybody else, but it's a day early. I know, who cares? So I apologize in advance.
Explain to them that it's also, if they're watching it, it's Thursday, not Friday.
Okay, hold on. If you're watching, it's Thursday. And if you don't realize it's Thursday and it's Thursday, you got bigger problems than this stupid show.
Yeah, bigger fish to fry.
And as we always start off every show, we want to send our prayers to the January 6th hostages. And we speak your name. Listen, you can chat. So you can jump in on the thing if it's live. And if you're listening, it's just a podcast, just like any other thing that you might find. Everyone and their grandmother's been doing it, but we've been doing one since 1986.
It was a crank.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
used to have to crank it up.
It was a Victrola. That original RCA dog was sitting there. Right. So listen, of course it's been a little bit of time, and not even by request, but we had one show and we couldn't do it, but you're back. Hollywood Howard is in the studio. So welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. It's really nice to be back.
Yes, it's great to have
see you boys.
Thank you. You look fantastic. You look awfully summer. Is this linen?
No, it's cotton.
Okay, I got you. Sea Island cotton?
Possibly.
Okay.
Wow.
Good. All right.
I have to reread
We're
the
already
label.
dropping fabric.
Size.
No, Sea Island cotton.
He knows his fabric.
I do. Sea Island cotton is so expensive. It's actually
How
cotton.
expensive is it?
Well,
It's so expensive.
okay, ready? In order for it to be called Sea Island cotton, it has to be cotton grown in the Caribbean. So
That's right.
imagine there aren't as many plantations as they used to have in the Caribbean, and we'll leave that one well enough alone.
Right.
Yeah,
As long as it's not grown in China, with all due respect. It's not the people, it's the regime.
I don't think. Do they grow cotton in China?
Sure. There's
Oh.
lots of cotton in China.
China.
I didn't realize they had
And tea.
all the tea in China.
They have all the cotton in
All the
China.
You know,
Anyway,
whenever anybody talks about how the world is sort of I always say that the world is like every culture is influenced indirectly by the other cultures, and it all kind of moves around like kind of like weather patterns. And I always say that the best example of that is that Italians have spaghetti because of the spice route and Marco Polo. Isn't that fascinating?
that
to
is
me?
true.
So here it was in the 12th century, and here comes this Dago with a bunch of his little donkeys and whatever. It's probably ducking from Genghis Khan, and he comes back and he goes, "Mamma mia! Look at what I brought to you from the Oriental place.
Right.
Looking so good, huh?
Oregano.
Oh, and they make it the iPhone. That's too soon.
They
They make it the iPhone.
They make it
I
the
hope my
iPhone.
friends on Author Avenue are not watching the show.
Oh,
they're-
I actually dropped the link off manually.
Yeah, they're
But,
all Albanian anyway.
At
Care.
the,
Now
I've
they're
got to go drop it
Albanian, so
off
they
at
don't
the
understand
pork store.
Yeah, it's a
Hey,
pork-
we got a chat from my close personal friend James O'Sullivan.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Says
Jimmy S?
His first one says show holes, which I don't know exactly what. I think that show holes
does
are
that
typically
mean?
like women on podcasts.
Oh, is that really
like,
a term? Show?
yeah, they'll be
holes?
like, oh, the hole or whatever.
Oh,
and
wow.
then
That's
he also
derogatory.
says,
Yeah.
Hollywood Howard, please detail your perversions. Thanks.
Oh.
I don't know what that means.
Well, it rhymes
Wow,
with
live?
Perversions.
it rhymes with lape.
Don't mock the Japanese.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a legitimate question because
Okay,
when's the last time you got laid? Like laid? Had sex with somebody?
a little while ago.
Like a couple of years?
With a woman?
Yes. Or man. I don't care.
'Cause
I'm
maybe around 2 years.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's honestly, I'm not that far behind you. So
You know,
I mean,
there are some
Go ahead.
periods in your life, I think, no matter who you are, what you're doing, where there's, lots of action for whatever reason.
Sure.
And then things slow down, and then there's just, you know what I mean?
well, even
Sometimes you can try a lot,
Yeah.
nothing happens, right? And then other times you're not trying, and boom,
A
it
watch
falls
pot
into your
never
lap.
gets blown.
I think that's the way it
And-
seems to be.
and even the most bountiful crops must lie fallow in a field.
Well
Wow.
spoken.
In a-
And that's Old
yeah,
Testament.
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
That's my
Right.
people. Okay.
Yeah, Nebuchadnezzar beget Ishmael. Where are my whales? So anyway,
They
So
they
to your-
lived a ripe age in those days.
well, I'll tell you, it's funny when I just to your point is like I don't know, like we're all real cocksmen. I mean, we're all pussy hounds. I mean, we're not, but
yeah.
like I'm always amazed.
That's-
In my life, there have been times where I have just obviously a long time ago, I'm married, blah blah blah, but like where I would leave the house
Right.
and I would just like I would just get laid just doing just
sure,
out in the world. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
I would, when I was a middle schooler, or I would get like I'd go to the mall, and before you know it, I was getting a hand job.
Wow.
Getting a hand job behind. There was actually a little forgotten cemetery right by the mall in Towson where I grew up, and that was where I would
Get a
bring
lot
them.
of action.
Well, I would cut about 3 times. I would bring girls back behind the, and I would finger blast them sitting on
Like behind the mausoleum or something.
no, like the little the tombstones and everything.
They
There
weren't
was,
creeped out by that
Wow,
kind of
okay.
atmosphere. No.
no, I put on my best Bela Lugosi. I go, huh. No,
That would be great for goths.
let me tell you, if you're
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was pre-goth, wasn't it? Or
if there's this was like the late 80s, late 80s.
is that goth? Yeah.
Well,
They already hit, didn't they?
goth is Victorian if you really want to.
No, I don't mean goth, but
Okay.
so America goth.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, I'll tell you what. These girls did have a lot of black eyeliner on, and they were sitting by
They did.
themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
picked
And
them up
you
at the
knew
hot
how to-
topic.
You knew
Yeah.
where to focus. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, lonely girls, and they weren't they weren't the cutest girls,
Right.
You
Sure.
know,
But
you were-
hey,
You were proactive though.
yeah, I knew.
yeah.
I was like a cheetah. I would see them by the water hole, like
Mhm.
nursing a broken, like a gazelle or something.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'd come up and go, "Hey, you, God, I'm so sad today because of the Smiths and everything."
Because of this, Morrissey and
Yeah,
such.
you know how it is. I was Sisters of Mercy, man. I tell you, but it's so that's what I'm agreeing with you, especially that is
Yeah. It comes and goes like everything.
yeah, and but not to every guy. I think there are guys out there that I wish I could sort of tell them. I mean, not like who's the guy that teaches how to pick up girls?
Oh, Dante Nero.
No, but
No.
yes, no. I'm talking about
Talking about man
Mysterio or
School.
something or
Oh,
Mysterio.
Mystery. Well, you're talking about the pickup artists. You
Yeah.
went way back.
What's that?
Okay, so there was a book that turned into a television series. I think it made 1 or 2 seasons even.
Yeah, I watched it. I think it was VH1, the pickup artist.
yes.
Right.
And it was
Yeah.
the premise was there's a guy that would teach other guys how to pick up
Oh,
girls.
okay.
And he would do things like neg them. He would teach them negging. So, for example, and let's leave Kamala Harris. I'm just kidding. So he would. So let's say you're with an attractive girl and you really like her. You would go, oh, you'd be pretty cute if maybe you did something different with your hair.
Yeah.
It
Maybe a couple of crunches tightened it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
God,
off-putting, isn't it? I mean,
well,
Yeah.
that's the idea. You get them all.
You'd be a lot hotter if you weren't wearing that stupid shirt.
Oh, that seems
That'd
like
be
well,
what
how
I
does
would.
that
That's what I would
attract-
say.
that seems like double negging.
Stupid.
Hey, you look like a real dumb cunt.
Hey,
yeah.
you look-
Is that going too far?
Yeah, I bet you're a real disappointment to your
This
family.
is why I could never neg.
Yeah, you would.
I
You
was
could
Is
no
that coming
good-
from
I was real
nag,
good
like
at negging.
a slight.
negative.
Yeah.
It's come from negative.
Yes.
Yeah, you're negging.
Yes.
them.
And that would work.
well, yeah, because what you and I'll be honest with you,
I don't
it's not. He's not wrong. Like if you walking up to a girl, especially a particular type of girl, like effusively praising somebody, like you don't want to give them that much power. So what he's saying has a basis in truth. I think. I mean, if you,
How's he doing?
Have you ever been negged by a gay guy?
I've been pegged by a gay
Okay.
guy. Oh,
I mean, it rhymes.
yeah.
But I've noticed it with gay guys.
Yeah, it
in
is-
in the past where I'm like, do you really think that just you asking me like if I did my haircut myself?
Oh, is that
like,
an egg?
I'm just gonna jump into bed with you. Or,
Yeah.
I mean, just like a weird, like just a
Something
slight
to
little,
get in there.
slight little dig.
It is a type of flirting,
It
and
is?
the person.
I guess it's a type of flirting.
And I think
Yeah.
it also projects an air of confidence. And I think one of Mysterio's whole things was to just be very confident. And again, like he's not wrong, but it went a little ridiculous because his whole thing also was peacocking. So let's say you're at a
You
bar.
read this book, didn't you?
about Peacock.
You read this
Dude,
book.
my friend Paul was for Halloween one year. He was Mysterio. Like it was a thing. Mystery. Sorry.
What year
I
is
like
this?
Mysterio.
What
Yeah.
is this?
This was like
this was mid like
I would say
2005, maybe.
maybe even a little 2010.
Yeah, maybe even early.
No.
Oh no, I think earlier
What
because
the
it was.
hell was
well,
I
I
thought
doing?
it was right when I was out of high school.
I'm
I
so
remember
out of
watching.
it. All right.
But
I think
What happened to him?
Let's see.
Is
I
he
don't-
still around? Is
we're
he,
about-
is
we're-
he still doing
you know
concerts?
what? Weirdly, I actually just looked him up not that long ago.
What's he up to?
He lives in Austin, Texas.
Of course he does.
Where else
I don't
would
know what
live?
he really does. I think he writes books about
Is he on the bestseller list?
insulting women.
Yeah.
How's he doing with that? Is he still?
Yeah.
We don't
I'm
know.
gonna see when the
Yeah.
pickup. Are.
So
Yeah,
you
he
guys are
seemed to be doing-
Mysterio fans?
Yeah. Oh, we're big
Wow.
mystery heads.
So, but like, so peacocking, just to get back to
Oh
it.
yeah, what's that?
So if a good way to stand out from other guys in the bar is, let's say you're in a bar and you have like a stuffed parrot on your shoulder,
Oh right,
or like aviation, like Charles Lindbergh aviation goggles.
sure.
Or
Something to stand out from the
Howard, I'll show
crowd.
you a picture. That's mystery right there. What a
Okay,
cool
well, he's
guy,
gay.
right? Doesn't he look like a cool guy?
Yeah.
He looks
Got
gay.
the soul patch.
Not that there's anything wrong
nothing,
with
He's
that.
got-
nothing wrong.
He's
with
got
it.
guy liner.
Yeah, I mean,
Guy liner.
but it is an interesting thing where like it's all rooted in there's some truth to a lot of it, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like for example, you know, like if it's true, like if you are well, like put it this way, like if you're well dressed, then usually a
Sure.
girl will say, oh, I like your shirt.
Right.
You know, that doesn't mean you've got to come in with like an amulet around your neck that
Three-piece
flashes
suit,
or
no.
something, or
Yeah.
Gold,
Yeah.
a lot of gold.
yeah, you're trying way too hard.
Cummerbund.
Well, and I think actually with peacocking, it's usually one item of clothing
Mm.
that really sticks out.
Mm.
Like maybe a microwave on your head or something.
Yeah.
or, you
Wait,
know,
and he always kind of had like goggles on
that's
too. He always had like
yeah.
this weird
yeah, like
Is he a
goggles.
Scorpio?
goggles.
I have no idea.
Couldn't tell you about his astrological sign. Oh, hey, Brian, James O'Sullivan, also my close personal friend,
Sure.
wants to know when you're coming to Chicago and can you play gay chicken?
By the way, is there a more Irish name than James
James
O'Sullivan?
O'Sullivan.
Right.
Brian
Sound-
McCarthy's.
I know,
good.
pretty. Yeah, but
is.
that sounds like a union rep. You know what I mean?
It
Right.
does.
Jimmy Sullivan, pay your dues, boys. Right.
Sounds like a Teamster. Yeah.
I would 100% play gay chicken, and just if we want to,
James Sullivan, handsome guy too.
I mean, he's
so I mean, you
gorgeous.
could do way worse.
I think I know what he looks like. I think I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a black guy, right? I'm just kidding. James Sullivan, but right.
Right.
He's
Could
do-
be.
He's
Hey,
black. He's black Irish. No,
maybe he's Black Indian.
I'm picking what I am working. Okay, you're
Wow, this
chomping at
guy.
the bit.
This
Should we just
guy.
give you 5 minutes or no?
And
You-
we'll
you-
Whenever
just,
you
Should
want.
we just give him a minute and just leave?
No,
the
not now.
room
It's too
and
early. I
Let
think.
him let him
Yeah.
rant.
let him have a couple of cookies. Let's get him.
I did have a couple of cookies.
Let's have him a good sugar high.
That's
No.
why you gave me this.
Yeah, it's okay. So, but
Coffee.
I do want to say that the end of this month being August, I am going to be in Los Angeles, California. I'm coming in on the 28th. And I'm leaving on Memorial Day. I will be attending the Studio City Film Festival.
Wow.
And I'm staying at the Roosevelt Hotel in
Oh,
beautiful
nice.
Hollywood,
Oh,
Hollywood
my
land.
God.
Hollywood,
Hollywood.
California.
So, you know, we're going to do a couple shows between now and then, but I'm going to be, so I don't know, James.
You meant Labor Day, didn't you?
What'd I say?
Memorial Day.
Oh,
just
sorry.
so people don't get confused.
Yeah. Stop wearing white.
Okay.
Don't start wearing white.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to be out there at the end for five nights. And also
What are you
Wow,
gonna
5
do?
nights.
Stand up and stuff.
I was
You can
in
do
a,
this.
well, there's a couple of, there's a couple of different answers to that. I was in that thing that I shot back in New Mexico, television pilot, and the
All that Alamogordo.
Alamogordo.
thing
That's
with
it.
the,
The Ally McBeal reboot. Yes, I played the dancing
the nuclear
baby.
testing reboot.
Yeah, just a sad alcoholic in a
Oh, yeah.
diaper. Hey, no, no.
You
Okay,
were good in that.
thank you. I lost 300 pounds.
Typecasting?
Yeah. No. Okay. So here's what happened. I was in this pilot for a TV show. You have to know this. I think I told you. But
Yeah, the pilot thing's coming back. Now.
okay, fair enough. So I did that. So since then, the director and producer and that team has been submitting the pilot to all these different film festivals. So for example,
okay,
they won the Marina Del Rey Film Festival for Best TV Pilot. That's exciting.
Good.
And they won another same kind of thing for this one, I believe. And if the director's listening, he's going to get annoyed because I'm going to fuck it up. But I believe they won. They call it. It's kind of funny to me. They call it the New York Film Festival, but it's New York in Jamestown, which is in
Oh,
Western New York.
Very clever.
Yeah, I mean,
New York State.
yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Yeah, in like small parentheses.
Yeah,
type.
very
Technically, it's
small.
in the
Yeah.
state of New York.
If you
Hey,
get-
Jamestown.
yeah,
Don't knock it.
if you get to the Finger Lakes, keep driving 4 hours west.
Lucille Ball.
Yeah, if you hit exactly
Jamestown.
right, that's right.
See, I know some
The-
showbiz shit.
Sure you do. Anything as long as
No, but that's good.
as long as it involves Fatty Arbuckle, then
Right.
you'll know
Oh,
the.
don't- He was funny.
he was good.
Come on.
Yeah, I know.
He's a great comedian. First time.
The talkies ruined
Ruined him.
the genre.
And also that murder that he committed. Or
Yeah, when he
whatever,
put
that
the
murder
right,
rape thing. That
broken
he did,
bottle up.
That didn't help.
No, it
help
didn't.
the-
Oh, these days he could run for president. Oh, there we go. Now I'm doing it too.
Hey,
There
I
you
like
go.
that.
So-
There you go.
So anyway, so that's-
Anyway, so your LA hit.
yeah, but also while I'm out there, and this is a very deep cut, I will be doing Eddie If's podcast on Thursday, whatever that is, the 29th. So that's
Eddie, if
he knows Eddie. I mean, people would know if you listen to
see
the show.
how I don't-
Gift?
I know that I wouldn't.
what is he?
He's a comic and he's a friend of mine, but I started all this stuff with him and a guy named Jim Jeffries like 15
Long
years
time
ago.
ago.
Yeah, something like that.
Is
So,
if his actual name or that's his stage?
IFFT. Yeah.
Gift.
Oh, if IFT.
Yes. IFFT.
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 That sounds
Yeah.
like a stage name too.
No, his
It's
yeah.
Dutch.
Is it Rabinowitz? Is his actual name. You know,
Yes.
kind of like John.
Rabinowitz Ift.
Little
He has a double.
little too Jewy. So you dialed it back. So no, so I'll be doing that. But again, I'll have more details as we kind of get into the month about that. But that's where I'll be. But I have no plans to go to Chicago. Although I would like to go to Chicago.
Fly over
You ever,
Fun,
been,
fun
you're-
city.
you ever been to Chicago?
many times.
Really?
Oh, sure.
Were you there? Were you there
On
during
political business.
the riots? The
68?
yeah.
No.
You were there with the Weather Underground?
No, not my bag.
No. You were almost too young for that, actually.
No, I wasn't too young at all, but I was,
All right.
too mainstream.
If that was a McGovern, right? That was the whole McGovern.
That was 68 wasn't McGovern, that was 72. But 68 was McCarthy and then Kennedy and
Hubert
you know,
Humphreys.
and Hubert got the nomination.
yeah, Hubert got that on.
And then he lost by a whisker to Nixon.
yeah,
It was a tough year, but not as tough as this year is.
all right. Yeah, if I remember
Trying to put
correctly,
that in there.
during the
No, that's
riots,
true.
they went, "Oh, the humanity, the humanity."
That was Cosell, wasn't it?
yeah, so, yeah. You know, I
What
actually
was he doing covering the convention? Isn't he a sports guy?
did he really cover the convention? Howard Cosell, by the way. For those of you,
Oh, you
who
better
weren't-
tell them. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
too young. To
if you were born before 1955, Howard Cosell wore a great toupee,
Mm.
and he was a sportscaster.
a very big sports
I
guy.
actually saw him in the Waldorf Astoria in an elevator in 1991. I think
You
it was
see?
just before he dropped dead. Yeah, I was like, oh,
You mean just in the elevator?
yeah. He was like, I was in the Waldorf Astoria. You know,
Well, excuse
and,
me.
well, you know,
Did he drop dead? With all due respect,
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
in
he-
the
he said,
elevator?
hit the 9th floor, kid.
Did he drop in the elevator?
No, he was with like some family or something. But he was going
His
to his
family?
I don't know who the fuck he was. He wasn't with some Jamaican nurse. He was like,
yeah, let's get our facts straight.
yeah. Come on, is there gonna be a videotape?
Do you
of
know who
this?
I met in the Waldorf Astoria?
Who? Mr. Waldorf?
Almost.
Who'd you meet?
Senator John Fitzgerald Kennedy on
Mm.
October 12th, 1960, mind you.
You met
The
JFK?
Democratic candidate for president of the United States.
Wow, you must. Now then, you were really young.
I was 11.
Okay, how did that happen?
Holy shit.
I was a volunteer
Okay, for
at
what?
Citizens for Kennedy Johnson,
Okay,
which was next door at a beautiful old apartment building at the time,
right.
which was torn down for one of these
Of
massive
course.
skyrocket,
Right.
a horrible thing. And Jackie came to headquarters.
Ooh,
She's very, very beautiful.
bet she
and
was.
and so there was this thing there, and then went over.
I'm
'cause he
sorry.
was
Back it up
next
for 1 second.
door.
What? There was a thing there. What do you mean?
There was an event.
Okay.
She came to visit headquarters, you
Okay.
know, because they were in town
HQ.
for the Columbus Day parade,
Ah.
which in those days you celebrated on Columbus Day,
Okay.
October 12th. Didn't
Yeah,
matter what
it-
day of the week
oh,
it
no.
was.
There were two. There wasn't a President's Day. There was one for Lincoln and one for Washington.
Exactly right.
Right.
But the parade, just a little political nostalgia.
And what's this
The
Juneteenth?
Columbus Day parade at that time was a big hit.
Yeah.
So you had to do. That's an event you did, and they came in for that event. That's how I got to meet
If you
them.
wanted what they called back in those days the Dago vote, because
in the back room, you referred to it that way, not
yeah,
in front
all
of
the
the mic.
Italians, right? Exactly.
Mm.
There were a lot of Italians around.
Yeah. Did they
and
have?
they voted.
Did they have floats like?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the works.
guys in like wife beaters of like olive oil grease
Sure.
on it.
Just
Yeah.
talking about how you got to add a
Hey!
little bit of the gravy
Yeah.
to the
It's the
water.
Sons of Italy. What
Yeah.
do you? Come on.
Sure.
Yeah,
Hey,
the pork
whoa.
is a flavor. The pork is a flavor. The pork is
Sure.
a. You got to
Sunday gravy and things of that
Yeah.
nature.
So
we were
you're-
both at the Waldorf at different eras with different.
No,
you
but
know,
I want to hear your
celebrities.
story. So Jackie's over there.
So Jackie's there. It was very, very fun.
Did you go over?
and,
Was she like, I just want to thank all you
Yeah,
young people
like you
and
see her. Yeah,
you do middle class,
very charming,
middle
very
class
very
Jews
classy.
and little.
She
look at this-
wasn't, Jackie wasn't va 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 boom
No,
like that.
no.
But she
Boom.
was very beautiful and really, really super classy. Yeah,
Yeah, and a very
just like you imagine when people see her on the screen or.
yeah. I mean, I
And she
saw
was
that.
yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
saw that video for her when she gave a tour of the White House in black and white.
Yeah,
and
right. That
that's
was
mine.
famous. Yep.
So anyway, so she comes over and she gives
So
a
she comes over, give
Uh-huh.
a little talk
Yeah.
to the, the whole gang was
Sure.
around,
gathered around.
signed some autographs and stuff, and then she went wherever she had to go, and I went next door. The Waldorf was next door, and there he was.
And was he there in the
He was there
capacity,
in the.
like on a stage, shaking hands?
No,
Did
it
you-
wasn't. It was just a coming and going quick event in the hotel.
Did you have the kind of did you kind of chutzpah? Did you go up to him and say,
Oh, sure.
"Oh, hey, Mr. Kennedy, you're going to take it
How
all the
did
way"?
you know- How did you know that was my voice when I was
Yeah,
11?
Mr. Kennedy, yeah. I picture you looking like a newsie. You got your little like hat on the side.
Press.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, press,
press
press,
card.
with,
Press.
with one of the S's backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Kennedy, you're going to go all the way.
Remember the Three Stooges? Press, pull, push. Yeah, when they had their.
Yeah, familiar with that. Yeah, good stuff. So what?
Anyway,
did he,
that was. I mean,
but
a
hold on.
memorable moment.
What did he do? Did he shake your? Did he,
He
go?
shook
"Oh,"
hands. said,
Okay.
"I am."
Did he go? I'll see you in 7 years because he wanted his your vote in 7
He
years. Or
didn't
sure.
talk like
Did he-
that.
He goes, "You want to come double team Maryland
No,
with me?
he sounded just like that.
Yeah.
No, he did sound like.
Room
Yeah.
402. Come with
He
me.
did sound like that.
We'll double team Maryland. You can spit roaster with me and my brother, the fat one." Anyway, good.
Anyway, it was
times.
a great moment.
Yeah, that is
Not
a-
like meeting Howard Cosell in the elevator, but you
All
know.
right. Hey, speaking of history, Nips Brennan wants to know, Brian, didn't you lead the Stonewall riots?
Oh.
Well-
I think he's saying you're a gay lord.
I
is what he's saying.
by the way, did you
Were
ever
you at the Stonewall riots?
No, I'm way too young for that. But I have
Yeah.
been to the bar. I've been to Stonewall.
Sure.
Well, it's a National Historic Monument.
Every
now.
every Wednesday we go
Uh,
for trivia.
But here's the thing: I didn't
Brian
know
and
it
I.
was
do
gay.
you?
right? Oh,
You just thought it was a
Yeah.
trivia
I know.
trivia event.
I went in there. I was so horrified. I left 7 hours later.
You just thought everybody was real friendly.
Yeah. I actually the last time I was there, there's a
Not that there's anything wrong.
no.
No.
There's a DJ named Lady Bunny who
Oh,
is
that's
a
cute.
Okay.
she's a drag queen and
Of course.
my friend's friends with her and my friend Desmond. He's Desmond. And
Sure,
so
yeah.
we went. I have a picture with her, and she also does stand up. And if you're listening, if you Google or look on YouTube, Lady Buddy's stand up, her shit is so unbelievably filthy
Oh,
that like
God.
and here's the thing. You want to talk about time and how cruel it is. I went to see Lady Bunny do stand up, and I'm sitting in this it's like a nightclub kind of thing, and there's this woman next to me, and I was like, we were in this sort of quasi VIP section because my friend Desmond like knew her, so we're up a little. We're kind of good seats. There's this like old lady next to me, and she's like laughing, but she's like wearing like a big coat and kind of has like a shopping bag with her. I was like,
Okay.
so I'm like, who the fuck is this old broad? It was Deborah Harry.
I thought I was going to.
Is that Lady Bunny's mother?
No, Blondie. It was
Yeah,
Blondie.
Blondie.
Remember Blondie? Come
I
on.
remember the
Fab
name.
Five Freddy?
Call me. Baby, call me. She was gorgeous.
Different generation.
No, she's your age, you
Same
fucking weirdo. You
My-
know. She was
She was more downtown, maybe.
yeah, she was
More downtown.
Yeah.
I was
South of
uptown.
14th
I was
Street.
uptown.
she
Yeah.
did so much cocaine. She blew
You know,
a hole.
I heard this morning.
What'd you hear?
I guess I can release this on the, over the
Oh,
airwaves.
please.
That Lady Bunny
Exclusive.
is going to be administering the oath of office to President Harris.
All right.
In
Wow.
substitution for the
All right, let's
Chief
just get this.
Justice
Let's just
of
get
the
this.
Supreme
yeah.
Court. That's
Let-
what I heard
right.
this
Okay.
morning.
Let's just get this
Yeah.
over with.
Yeah.
What do you want to
Enough
say?
edging.
Huh?
Yeah,
Enough edging.
yeah. And remember, we're profit partners now, so don't get us demonetized.
Who are you two guys are?
Yeah.
I can't get into it.
Oh, then I'm not. Just go on with the questions.
No,
No, it's fine. You can.
we're-
we could talk
joking
about
around.
sex.
You can speak
No,
freely.
I can roll with the
It's not
punches.
only sex. We're talking about historical figures. Like
That is
Fatty-
true.
Like
Howard
Fatty Ar-
Cosell.
We
Fatty
call
Arbuckle.
we call the show Heroes of Yesteryear.
Oh, I like
Um,
that.
So what do you want to say? How do you? Okay, I'll pitch a softball right over the plate. How
Just
do you
like a Biden interview.
How do you feel about Kamala Harris being the presumed Democratic nominee, and do you think she'll win the presidency? There you go. You have the floor.
Okay, I have to. Here's what I've been working on the last 10 days or so.
Okay.
Great.
As you know from prior appearances on the show,
Uh-huh.
I studied the natural born citizen clause in great depth back in law school. I was involved in the controversy in 08 when Obama was candidate,
Mhm.
and now it's back. So I have been in contact with allies on this issue, and I am urging an emergency case in the federal courts to challenge her candidacy based on the natural born citizen clause. That's what I've been doing.
Okay.
Mm.
Now let's just,
Politically, I've been looking for descriptive words for my opinion about her.
okay.
And what's coming up is bimba, joke,
Okay. All right.
that kind of thing.
Let's take it back just a
All
little
right.
bit.
So there's
For-
legal and political.
Okay. For the edification of the audience, are you suggesting that Kamala Harris is not a U.S. citizen?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well,
I'm
then
suggesting that
Hmm.
she's not a natural born citizen in the constitutional meaning.
please, could you
There's a big
expound on
difference.
that?
Well,
Yeah. Could you give it
it's
to us in
kinda-
kind of
it's very
lay?
but let me give it
layman's
to you in
terms?
lay.
Yeah. Sorry, we're idiots. Try
Let
to
me
give it to us.
you in
like-
lay.
Go ahead.
The natural born citizen clause, what it does not define itself.
Okay.
No, it does
So
not.
it's one of those.
I've been saying that for years.
It's one of those
Right, he does.
constitutional
Can't get him
provisions,
to shut up about it.
and there are many of them
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
that need filling in.
Sure.
The judges, the Supreme Court, basically at the
Uh-huh.
end,
Yep.
they have to decide and define a term. And there's a debate which has been raging about two definitions of what that means. One side says that merely being born on the territory
Right.
makes you a natural born citizen.
Okay.
Okay.
The other side says it's not that quite simple. What the founding fathers meant by
Right.
that clause is that you have to be born on the territory, of course,
Right.
to citizen parents, to parents who were citizens at the time
Here
of
we
your
go.
So no anchor
And-
babies.
Right. And that's the crux of the debate. And my pitch now is, and I'm not going to go into where I stand. Well, you know where I stand. I don't think she is a natural born citizen. But I want the federal courts to address this crucial issue really once and for all. And they keep dodging it and ducking it. That's what I'm pushing for right now. I want to get a case in there on an emergency basis, let it go up to the top, call the Supremes back from their summer vacation. They're away for 3 months. They'd have to come back
Right.
and get a reading. If they say, you know what, we're finally tackling this. You only have to be born on the soil. Basta. It's finished. She's in. If
Mm.
they say no, you have to be born of citizen parents as well. It's a double stand. It's 2 legs.
Mm.
Then she's out.
Well, good luck with that Judge Alito because he's going to be up on that.
Sure.
He's going to be up on that flagpole, flipping that flag over. It's stuck.
Well, the
upside-
flag that he doesn't know about,
he doesn't
right?
know
that
about
he
it.
had no knowledge.
His
That's
about.
wife.
that was his wife.
His wife
Why? You
did
know
it.
everything your wife's doing and all of her
Yeah.
positions.
She's
and
always
everything?
flying
Yeah.
Flags.
Nazi flags.
As I come home, I'm like, "What'd you do?" She's like, "I'm fighting with him across the street. I tell him my hedges, they're my hedges, and I'm not gonna
Uh-huh.
fucking do the thing." He's like, "Maron, what are you doing? You're getting me in trouble. I'm a fucking justice." I'm like, "God, yes, I pay court. What the fuck are you doing, honey? You stupid cunt, yes."
Yeah,
So,
we don't know
okay,
what kind of
so-
discussion goes on between them.
No,
you
you
know.
should don't. Right?
behind
You
closed
burn the
doors.
Brazo. You burn the Brazo. What are you doing, you stupid fucking bitch?
Mhm.
Hey, it's in this day and age, prejudice against Italians.
That's a great Alito impersonation.
Thank you. It is good. I do it. Weddings, bar mitzvahs. I'll give you a card.
Give me a card.
Thank
yeah,
you.
because I got some
All right,
friends in that
so
business.
Let's back.
I
it
know
up.
somebody at one of the hotels on Central Park South. Big event planner.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could-
Oh,
oh,
shit,
yeah.
I know that broad.
She'd be interested in
got
your stuff.
I got
yeah.
an event she can plan in my pants.
Whoa!
Whoa.
She listened to this? No, she's
No,
working.
No, she's classy.
She's
broad.
busy.
Okay, so let's
Anyway.
maybe take a step back for a second
Okay.
because I do want. Let's just fuck around with this for a minute.
All right.
So
Appreciate that.
why? So her parents. I'm talking about
Kamala.
Vice President Kamala Harris. Her mom or her dad's Jamaican, right?
Yeah, I
something like
believe
that.
it's dad Jamaican, mom Indian. I
Right.
believe.
So one of them was born in Jamaica. One of them was born in Calcutta or something like that, or one of these in India. Let's just say India, right? Is that what it is?
South India.
If you're taking the Supreme Court, you better know who the fuck the parents were
Right.
born.
Yeah, it's not a question. They were born in their respective countries.
Okay.
But it's not the question of where they were born. It's the question of whether they were citizens at the time of her birth.
Right.
And they were not. That's a fact that nobody will dispute.
I see.
But when people are ranting that this is just racist, sexist, that's not, and you don't leave it to Donald Trump, with all due respect,
No.
to carry this argument. He really doesn't know what it's about and what it means, but it is a real argument.
Do you
The scholars have been raging on this for decades.
legal
Oh,
scholars?
don't we
Yeah.
know it?
Yeah.
And I think it's time for an answer. I mean, right now.
Okay. Now,
That's what I'm saying. If it comes out my way, they'll say, yeah, we were right. If it comes out the other way, fine. But give us an answer so that we don't have to go through this again.
now here's a question, and I'm not taking the piss, as they say. Do you really think that you have the kind of juice where between now and the next 99 days you can
Less than that.
you can summon the Supreme Court justices back from their respective?
No, but
From a bagel shop on the Upper West Side.
well,
he
you
mu-
see,
yeah.
these things have strange origins. Well, it's not just me. I'm working with the like-minded others, shall we call them?
Okay. A cabal? Would you call it a cabal?
No.
Okay.
It's just allies.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right. Now, do you have
They have money.
okay.
They have preparation. They have large staffs and so on. And they're interested in this issue. And I'll tell you who they are, in my opinion. It's not the Heritage Foundation, America First Legal, Landmark Legal, the Cato Institute, and somebody else. These are the major conservative think tanks.
Okay.
And this should be of interest to them to get it in there now.
So independent of your
It's not me.
well, kind of is.
I'm a little tiny push.
You're merely a conduit.
okay. So
I'm
because this isn't
I'm a
really,
molecule in this universe.
You're a vessel.
okay, because
Hey, I'm a vessel.
you're more of a vassal.
Hey,
My lord, I'm a
Hey.
vassal of the king. No, but
I'm
okay.
sailing over here.
All right. Meet me on the
I'm
poop
a
deck.
vessel.
Okay. I like the cut of your jib. All right. So what I think is what you're saying to me though is because this isn't something that I'm necessarily aware of. I mean, it does ring a bell, but are there larger organizations afoot that are like-minded? Meaning, is there some sort of a more concentrated push on the, let's say, Republican side?
Those guys are like-minded. It would be they're the think tanks. They're the guys who go in and do this kind of work. So that's why I'm pushing with them.
Okay. So what has to happen? Like, and I'm not
Or if I can get on Rogan,
okay.
then I'll.
You get
With
on-
all due respect,
Sure.
I start here,
I can make a
then
phone
I
call.
go to Rogan.
I tell you.
I'll call
I
podcast.
tell you, with that hairline, you should get on Rogaine. He's having a good time. We're having a good fun.
Hey,
This
Hey,
fucking guy.
fucking guy.
This
You
fucking
know,
guy.
what is that? Ageism and
I like
anti-Semitism all wrapped
not
into
yet.
one
In a-
shot.
in a tight yeah,
I like that kind of humor.
yeah, you like that. So
Is
all
something going on with that?
no, you have lots of hair. I'm just
No,
I
you
wouldn't
got
say it if
nice-
you were
yeah.
balding. No, it's awkward. It's like calling somebody, like calling a girl that's pretty ugly. You know what I mean? Like I'm nagging you. I'm nagging you.
Yeah. He's
See, I'm
hoping
trying to
he,
wrap myself around that neg thing.
He hopes you'll
All right.
succumb to his advances.
Yeah. Hey, do me a favor. Go get my dog and put it on my shoulder. A shelter cat. All right. Yeah. So,
Anyway, so
all right. So
there you
let's
are.
do one
That's
more
all.
thing, and then we'll probably leave politics.
And then we can go to
in-
sex.
In the
We can
dust.
go
No,
back
we're
to
not.
sex.
By the way, I take a little umbrage at that.
Yeah, he
It's-
thinks this
this
is
show
some
is-
kind of smut.
this isn't like the
I didn't
sexy
say
sex
it's
show.
smart. Sex is not smart.
I know. Well, but
Well,
I think
If
that's
there's no sex, we wouldn't be here,
no.
for one thing.
Yeah, I don't know if you call it rape sex. Anyway, my mother is a coal mine. She worked at a coal mine. It was the owner of the.
Do you
coal
remember
mine.
this one?
I don't really know.
My
What you're doing.
father lives in a sit yard.
Now,
Did
what's-
you ever go do that in
No.
school?
What's that from?
That was my father works in a shipyard,
Okay.
which becomes my father works in a shit yard when you hold your tongue.
So
I'm talking about 1958 in the Bronx.
was it a way to like say shit but getting away with it or something?
Yeah, it was kind of a pun.
Oh,
yeah,
I gotcha.
tip-
Okay.
Tip yard.
See?
The tip yard. Yeah. We used
Oh.
to do
You
that. I
didn't
remember
do
that.
that out
Did you do
there.
that?
No,
Come
we used
on.
to do that. Yes,
You
hit-
had that?
That kind of yeah.
You
that
had
hit,
that?
That hit the Midwest.
That's cute.
Oh, by the way, speaking of sexy questions, Nips Brennan wants to know if Howard is a top or a bottom.
This guy
Yeah.
is all over. How come
Yeah.
he gets 12 questions and my
he's-
boy, who's
he's-
Irish, doesn't get anything?
What are you talking about?
What?
Your boy who's Irish.
Heffernan, where is he?
He's not in here
He's
yet.
got to be there. We're
Oh,
not.
Dave, where are you? Anyway,
We're
he
not.
hasn't. He hasn't asked the question yet.
I'm
Okay. Okay. Let me.
If-
Can I
you wanna
reframe the
rephrase
question?
Please.
Okay.
If you were a homosexual and you're all man, so I get it. But do you think you would be the kind of homosexual that
I would.
it is takes it or gives it? Let's just put it
Oh
that
no,
way.
no, gives. For
I think
sure.
he's a guy.
No, no, I'm a
I
type
second
A.
that.
No,
He's
no,
definitely a top.
No, I'm a top.
He's all top.
In heterosexual experience, I'm
Yeah.
mostly a top. Sometimes on the bottom, which is
But you've never
very
been like
not
you've never been
right.
like pegged. You've never had someone like put
Pegged?
on pegged. You know what that is? That's
No.
when a gal or a man with no penis, I guess.
Oh, she puts on it. No,
Dildo
no,
and-
thanks.
no.
No, not my thing.
But digits. You had digits back there. You've had fingers.
No.
Oh.
Nothing.
Well, that's what I thought we were
Okay.
talking about when you just said you bottom once in a while. Okay, so
No,
so
I didn't mean that.
all of
bottom
your-
that way. I mean
okay.
to just literally be on the bottom.
Well, that's not.
no, you're
We're not talking about that.
What is
It's
that
just we're
You're
not
talking about
We're not talking
You're talking
cowgirl.
about anal penetration. here.
yes, we
Yeah.
are.
Oh, you know what I love while we're on that?
What?
That's happened that I can
Please.
relate to.
Yeah.
That Huck Tui thing.
Uh-huh.
the
I
Hawk Tua
love
girl.
the Huck Tui. I love that.
You know what's really
I think that's so
you like
fun.
Haley,
So fun.
whatever her
Haley
name is.
Haley Joel
Whoever that
Osment.
chick
I
was.
forget what her last name.
She
is.
became an instant.
You
She
know-
hasn't been on the show yet.
You know, well, we can
I
get
would
her.
get her. 'cause-
Here's the thing about
She was
that.
just on Bill Maher.
see,
she
Well, you get it.
completely
I love that.
she blew it. You know why? Because she could have set up an OnlyFans the day after that whole
Right.
Oh my God.
nonsense.
I heard she finally did.
Too late.
She would have been a billionaire. You mean?
I mean,
too
I
late.
think she'll still do all right. She's
Sh-
probably still doing
She's
well.
cute, but there are billions of girls.
It's
like that.
more a question of people like to see someone in the news or like in the national conversation. You
Yeah.
like to see that
Mhm.
person. It's like you kind of gotta when the fireflies are out at twilight, you got to catch them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So maybe I should
Mhm.
like, for example, there was a thing, and you're not going to know what I'm talking about, but there was on Dr. Phil, he would have these troubled
Bad
teens
baby.
on his show, right?
Yeah.
Bad
and
baby.
Cash me outside.
Yes, and there was a girl that came on with her mom, and it was like Dr. Phil. He'd be like, "So you tell your mother she's a whore, and you run around with and late at night, and then the audience was jeering at her, and she said to the audience, she was like 12 or 13, and she jumped up and she said, "Y'all catch me outside. No, I'm saying catch me outside.
How about that?
How about that? How about
Cash
that?"
me outside.
Was she black?
No,
No.
That's
But
that
she had
your
a but
Harris
she spoke with a
impersonation of
she
a
spoke
black
with
one?
a black scent.
yes,
A black sin.
She
like
code
like
switched.
Kamala.
Mm.
I won't. I listen. Yeah, I will. I'm kind of with you on that.
Thank
Because
you.
I do feel
I
like
appreciate that.
She
You
she
see
does
the
that.
you
She
see what's
blacks it
going
up, and
on
I'm
with
like,
that.
come on,
But-
on, sister.
Okay, do you remember when Hillary Clinton was running for president? And she pulled a bottle of hot sauce out of her purse.
Right.
She goes, "Now y'all know what I mean. Y'all know I can't go nowhere without my hot
Ice-
sauce."
Ice can't
And she
go.
pulled it out, and that's pandering. That's pandering.
Yeah.
Okay, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
she's not Kamala. I mean, she's
Yeah,
got a
she's-
she's got a black father. She's from the Bay Area, but
Yeah.
she's very
By the way,
she's fancy.
Black
You
people
didn't
from
like that Hillary shtick?
black people from
I
the
love
Bay
it.
Area are like they're not like except
No, that-
Oakland, I guess I could say.
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah.
About as
Anyway,
black as it gets.
so that woman, this kid, right?
Oh
12
yeah. What
12
about the kid on
12
Phil?
thir-
Bad
okay.
baby.
Her name is Bad Baby. So what
That's
happened?
baby.
What happened was she was able to turn that sort of that 10 minutes, 5 minutes of fame. She started. I'm gonna.
But she did it much later.
Well, here's the thing. It went viral. So that
Yeah.
clip lived on YouTube. It became a meme. It became like a sample in songs.
Yeah.
So then the second she turned 18, and this isn't creepy at all, the second she
No.
turned 18, all of these guys who had been waiting for her
Yeah,
to
sure.
cross.
Laying in wait.
Yeah, like
I think that's a smart thing to do. By
like-
the way,
like-
underage, it's
well,
very
okay,
dangerous.
Yes,
Okay,
I agree.
just want to get that in.
But nobody's
Yeah.
saying she should have done it.
Howard, boy, you're taking a hard stance against
right.
right.
Thank you.
Well, I
Howard.
think there should be a red line somewhere, and it's got to be the
Well,
age of consent.
If there is a red line, I like to go on the other side of it. You know what I'm talking about? Period. All right. So listen, what I'm saying to you,
Ooh, that's
I know that
disgusting.
was meant to be disgusting.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So anyway, so she turns
So
18.
what did she do? She made.
And she makes. Do you know what only we talked about?
Yeah,
this.
yeah, the
okay,
only
fair
thing.
enough.
You
Okay.
guys were going to set me up with that.
Sure.
but not, of course,
User generated.
nothing happened,
I know.
but we'll get to that after
Well,
the show.
it was complicated.
Anyway, did she make $1 million and stuff?
more
A
than that.
billion?
like 50 million.
like 60
Wow.
mil or something.
How much
something
do you have to
crazy.
pay them to actually?
well,
I think
here's
it
the,
depends.
well, here's the thing. She
I
was
mean, like what?
What-
$20,
what do you-
$100?
Yeah, maybe $30 a month.
And you
something
get
like
no,
what?
no, no.
30
you-
bucks a
no,
month?
No, you guys, you're going to ask
Well,
a question.
you know how
I'll
to-
tell you the answer.
You know
There's
the answer.
two
to this,
different
'cause
OnlyFans.
You're on it.
There's either we are actually
Okay.
there's either like say $20 a month where you kind of get
Cheap.
access to content, or like what Joanna Angel does, you spend $10 or $5, or sometimes it's free, and then it's all a la carte. So you may be a member of the Hollywood Howard OnlyFans, but it might
Should
be
I do that?
I
We were
mean, I can look
this.
right now and see
We were
what Bad
discussing
Babies.
this.
So, but do you understand the difference? It's either like a flat rate
Okay.
where you get access to all this content, or you do it where you
A la carte.
pay nothing, but then a video could be $50, $75, $100, and they do personal videos, or I don't know, whatever. They make all this content, and they kind of. But this girl has gotten, and I think she does music too. I mean,
She's still
she
around
did
doing
at
this?
Yeah,
one
yeah.
point, yeah.
She hasn't aged out?
no, she's actually turned. It all. I don't know quite how to explain it, but like she really went from being like this 12-year-old like runaway
I like it.
kind of like I don't know internet girl from the mid 2000s, and now she's like, I mean, she's still pretty like ghetto, and but she has like Lamborghinis and everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
It looks like
It's
Bad
what
Baby.
we call this an American success story.
yeah, we would.
Oh
what it
yeah,
is.
100%. Looks
Yeah.
like Bad Baby has kind of something in between where it's $12
Okay.
for a month,
That's
and
reasonable.
you get access to. I don't see any.
That's like 30
So,
cents a
which I
day.
like. I like that because that right for less.
I mean,
than,
break it down.
For less than a cup of coffee.
Sure, you
That's
could,
less than a My Pillow.
sponsor
Yeah.
Ethiopian with a distended belly.
Sure.
Oh,
But,
hey, don't make fun of
But
that.
I like that. But then she does have some a la carte, but it's also reasonably
So
priced,
she's
which I like
still
that.
Yeah.
working as
Yeah.
Bad Baby?
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
Is that her
she's-
name?
She's
well,
never worked
it's her-
harder.
Yeah, but also okay, like for example, on OnlyFans, there
It's
was this
crazy.
girl that was like a Disney actress, and the day she turned 18, she did the same thing, but she didn't even put naked pictures up. She put like sexy pictures up that she took, and all of these guys who were fans of hers when she was 14, 15, 16, whatever, they all immediately like joined her OnlyFans
Yeah.
page, and she made like whatever it was 7 million, 10 million,
And they
something.
weren't even naked?
No, they weren't even naked.
She had clothes on and
And then
stuff?
she,
What's
yeah,
the
it's-
fun?
That's usually, she was
It
just
doesn't matter. If
she was wearing a monocle like the penguin. That was it. Yeah. So I don't, but I guess a question I do have is like, do you think anybody like went to her and said, listen, there was like a plan for her, like we're gonna roll this out because
Like some kind of a consultant.
yeah, because
Probably Martha Stewart or somebody like that.
I don't think it was Martha Stewart, although that'd be
Or
hilarious.
somebody like that.
Right.
Oh, Nips Brennan says she's also a mud shark.
What,
Yuck. He
what does
says
that
yuck,
mean?
but that means she likes black people.
Oh, come
Is
on.
that what that means?
I'm a
I
would
thought you
be
meant
a-
feces.
I would be a mud
Well,
shark.
I thought he meant feces.
He kind of
She
does.
dates
No.
the blacks.
Yeah, she likes.
Is that what he
black guys.
means?
Well, that
I
was
thought he
all.
meant feces stuff.
Dr. Phil.
Not that there's anything
No.
wrong with that.
I don't think you could get on Dr. Phil if you were only having sex with white guys. I think that's part of the like.
Well, she had a very
Part of the resume that when they vet you. they
she
check it
had
out.
she spoke with a black scent.
Oh,
and-
she did.
yeah,
But she
so
was white.
I think it's
Is
no
white.
it's no shock, Nips, that she liked black guys.
Maybe she's Indian white or one of those
All right, all right.
combinations.
I think
like
she's
that.
a
I know, I
natural
know,
born
it's okay.
citizen. I think her
I
parents were both.
Well, she could run for president.
yes.
She probably
All right.
could win at this point.
let's bring it right back one more time, and then we can table. all
Here
this.
is
No, I just
baby.
want to say
Do
one
you
thing
th-
on the just.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't read much fiction at all,
Okay.
but this summer I reread Lolita. Speaking of,
Ah.
and it's a very interesting piece
Nureyev?
of work.
Isn't that
Nabokov.
Nabokov? Sorry.
Very interesting piece of work. It really is. It's an amazing kind of a confessional. And in 1950, early 50s, when it came out, I mean, I could see it would have real shock value.
Right. For the audience,
It's an
that was-
interesting piece.
it's a
It
book
is.
about
Okay.
an
It's a
old-
great classic.
It's an older man, much younger girl.
Okay.
Lolita. Oh my
Lolita.
God. They don't know that?
No, I mean, I don't know if they do or not. I mean,
He's just
I'm
explaining.
you gotta like, I don't know. Who knows?
And not as, maybe in some ways, not as powerful as the book, but Stanley Kubrick's movie is fantastic. He made a movie out a few years
I
later.
believe
in the
James
late 50s.
Marsden. James
James Mason.
James Mason.
Oh, brilliant. Shelley Winters, Lolita's mother.
Oh.
Oh, brilliant.
Was this before the
Peter Sellers.
Was this
Oh.
before the Poseidon adventure when she died trying to get? We're
Yeah, because if she was dead, she wouldn't have been able to be in the
Well,
movie.
yeah, but you remember she was the big fat. She She swam with her. She was married to fuck it, who cares? Anyway,
She's
all right.
one of the great neurotics on the screen of that time.
Okay.
Shelley Winters.
Believe it or
she's
not,
really-
I'm
she's
actually
really-
trying to get you to talk about politics. Just
I know,
for
but I
one
wanted
more-
to just throw that Lolita thing
No,
in.
she's Shelley Winters. I think we can all agree, folks. Shelley Winters. Try her OnlyFans. Shelley Winters
Sure.
OnlyFans. Great. I once finger
You have no
banged.
for a
I once
entertainment guy, Hollywood guy. I mean, she was a great actress.
I once finger banged a 13-year-old runaway on her grave in Baltimore.
I
Fun
bet you
fact.
did.
Fun fact. Okay.
I didn't know she was buried in Baltimore.
Yeah, she had one hand sticking out. They didn't pay for all of it. Yeah, it's
So
when you're dead, you're dead.
What happened to America?
So here's this question for you. Do you think, okay,
Yes.
assuming that your lawsuit, Mishigosh, doesn't go anywhere, do you think Kamala Harris will be the next president of the United States? And I want to hear about the Indian or black and that bullshit. Do you think she's
No, I don't analyze that question that way.
Oh,
I haven't consulted the astrologers, so I don't know
Wow.
the answer.
there you go.
But
Have you thrown the I Ching?
based on what we know, without consulting the other
Sure.
higher powers,
Uh-huh.
I think it's going to be very, very tight, and no one can predict what's going to happen at this moment. I really do.
Okay. Well, it's an honest, it's an unbiased sort of it's all right. All right. Well,
I mean, I think traditional analysis. You step back, take a deep breath, look over the polling and so on
Sure.
like that. It's just tight. It was tight anyway, even though Biden was completely.
Yeah.
It's tight,
Uh-huh.
and I think it's going to be tricky
Okay. All right. Well,
from right now.
Well, we'll definitely have you on several more times, and you can give us this sort of nuanced
We'll give the update.
political. Especially once you read the charts. Do you really think that the astrological
Oh yeah.
astrological
Oh
charts,
yeah.
for example?
Oh gosh, yeah. No,
in-
seriously.
Okay, in your lifetime,
Yeah.
have you looked at a chart and were able to predict who the winner of an election?
No,
was?
I can't do that.
Okay,
But a professional can.
a professional what? A gypsy?
Professional
Professional
no, not a
gypsy?
gypsy, a professional astrologer.
What do you can't get a degree in astrology?
You don't have to have a degree. You
Oh, that's
study.
for sure.
You study with.
Yeah, they start
with
you
the
off.
masters.
You start off working the
This
tilt-a-whirl.
guy is so
No,
logical.
then
and
you start
reasonable.
off working the tilt-a-whirl. Then you guess weight. Then you do that. I'm doing carnival
Oh,
jokes
I'm not
here.
talking about
With the
ladies with the turbans.
Zombie?
and the-
Yeah,
but there are many different ways to get esoteric knowledge. Astrology is one of them. I think it's a good one because it's thousands of years old.
Okay.
Every major culture's had it, with millions of cases, and you can predict a lot of shit.
but every major culture has also had dysentery. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So,
But every coin has two sides.
okay, all right, I guess. But I
I'll
would
tell you a little anecdote from it's
please.
just and
Go ahead.
politics.
Go.
So I was in, Boston in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I wanted to be involved in the 88 campaign.
Sure.
So I thought, well, now there's like a dozen candidates out there. This is way like in early 87.
Okay.
There's a million candidates. It's like, what are we going to do here? What's the deal? So I asked around a little bit, and I wound up with a male, this is rare, astrologer whose specialty was politics in Boston.
Okay.
I took an appointment. I went and I said, well, I have one specific question. It's who's going to be the Democratic nominee, since I wanted to work for the Democrat at that time, and what's going to happen in November. Now, this is like early 87,
Okay.
right? Nobody knows what. He did the research. We came back.
Now back up for 1 second. When you say research, does he have like star charts and shit in front of him, or is he like lighting a playing card on fire and throwing it into like a?
No. He has the natal chart, the birth chart, and
Okay.
the what's called the progress chart to now.
Of all the
Whatever
different
now is of the different.
like
we said that there's
George
like 12 guys.
George Sununu and
Whoever it was,
Okay,
right.
gotcha.
And he said it's going to be Dukakis for the Democrats.
Okay.
And he will lose to Bush. And that's exactly what happened. And he's telling me this like a year and a half out. I signed up with Dukakis. It was a fun campaign. And I knew we weren't going to make it. So it was all right. But I knew.
Do you
Now, let me give you a better one. Just one more.
Okay, please.
In American politics, Ronald Reagan, who was, as successful as a politician or active turned politician could become in American history, did not make a move without Nancy, his wife, consulting her astrologer, Joan Davis. Joan, not Davis, that was her name. Whatever her name, Joan somebody or other.
Okay.
She was there.
Right.
She was right.
I remember
She plotted out the entire fucking career based on her tracking his astrology.
I remember hearing that. But did he know that it was astrology, or
I don't
just
think he knew that much.
Nancy would come to him and be
Ronnie
like,
didn't know that much.
Okay.
He took
well,
direction.
well, mother
He
says,
took direction. That's right.
mother says, it wasn't like Rasputin. There was some guy with a
No, it
turban
wasn't like
following him
Rasputin.
around in the halls of the
No,
White
it wasn't
House.
like Rasputin.
The president, or perhaps Grima Wormtongue from the Lord of the Rings.
No,
Okay.
Nancy Davis was Reagan's name. Her Joan Stewart or some common.
Hey,
She was
gotta get over
she
here.
was Nancy's astrologer.
Right.
I'm telling you, they didn't make a move with that, and she just plotted them all the way up to the top.
But throughout, I mean, I made the Rasputin joke, but throughout history, there have been people that have, major world leaders that have depended upon, that have people like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chart
Now, here's
leader.
one that depended, but either didn't pay attention or, went on despite the bad news.
John F. Kennedy. Did he go, I'm not ducking for nobody? They're like, please duck.
Adolf Schicklgruber.
Very
close with his astrologers, but, didn't quite.
For those of you who don't know, Adolf Hitler's real name was Schicklgruber.
Schicklgruber.
Schicklgruber. Can I tell you a funny thing that just happened to me?
Now, and another thing is,
go ahead.
I just got to get
no,
this
please. You go right ahead.
Trump is not Hitler. If you look at Adolf at the Nuremberg rallies and so on, those are unbelievable orations. This guy was a master. Trump is just blaring on and on. It's unstructured. It's can't compare
All right.
at
I'm glad
all.
we got this cleared up.
Yeah,
at all.
No.
I'm not talking about what the guy was saying.
I'll tell you what's interesting.
But the delivery, come on. Trump is Hitler? No way.
I have listened. If you go on YouTube, you find it very easily, but on YouTube, you can listen to, with AI now, you can listen to Hitler's speeches, but you can listen to them in English. And it's really wild because he never talks about the Jews or anything. He talks about how much he's done for the country. It's fascinating. You kind of, you get it. You watch it. You're like,
no, they never mentioned that. Very cool.
I was tracing
they
swastikas.
Never mentioned that.
I was tracing swastikas in my Trapper Keeper
all
weekend.
Yes.
All weekend. Now, let me tell you what just happened to me. So, I have some from my stepfather's father. My mom gave me all of this World War II memorabilia. Not very much, but like the guy passed away, 30 years ago. And when my stepfather passed away, my mom said, "Hey, do you want this stuff?" It was like it was a belt buckle and a sword and some patches
from his service.
Yes, from his service. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in the Waffen SS. No, I'm just kidding. No, he was an
They
American.
were good.
They were good.
They were really good,
dude.
Unfortunately,
their cufflinks had like little skulls and crossbones on them.
Yeah, they were cute though.
That Hugo Boss, he knew what he was up to. So, all right. So he gives me all this stuff. So I'm like, look. So I'm trying to like clean out all this stuff from my drawer. So I was like, you know what? Let me take a picture of this belt buckle and maybe I'll just put it on eBay and I'll sell it, whatever, see how much it is. So I take a picture of the belt buckle on eBay.
You know this story?
No, it just happened.
You did text me something about this, I believe.
Oh, I did.
Adam was laughing like he knew it would happen.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot to text you.
But I didn't realize. I thought it was just a non sequitur. I didn't realize you really did something like.
So I took a picture of the belt buckle. I searched it on Google. It came up that this belt buckle, which is aluminum, it's in great shape. If anybody hit me up on the dark
web, still out there
if you want to buy it. It's holding up my It's my Ozempic, Ozempic Nazi belt.
Yeah.
Now, what it is okay. So I'll get through it. So it's this belt buckle, and I took a picture. I put it on Google. I found people are selling this thing for $175. So I said, I'll put it on eBay. I'll sell for $150. And if it goes, it goes. Whatever. I'll just throw it up on eBay. Who cares?
What is it?
It's a belt buckle.
But what is it? What's the insignia? I mean,
well, that's the thing.
Is it ours? Is it theirs?
No, it has a giant swastika in the middle
with
with laurels all around it. But I will tell you this: that's not
a collectible.
I never knew really what it was. It's apparently when the Nazis took over Germany in 1933, right? They got rid of all the unions. Yes. But they created one labor union, and it was like the Nazi labor union.
Yeah, that's right.
So this swastika was not a military swastika. It was like a labor union swastika belt, something like that. Yeah, I could show it to you.
That's an interesting artifact.
So I put it on eBay, right? $150. I cut and paste the name of the thing. I just threw it up there. I said, "This is great for invading Poland." Pants fall down. Hate Jews. Buy this just in time for Father's Day.
Did it catch?
Just in time for Führer's Day.
Did it catch?
So
got some bad feedback.
Put it on. Like almost immediately, I get an email or a text message from some guy whose name on eBay is like Military Collector 48999.
Oh,
Super nice guy. We're gonna have a
Sure.
Zoom. We're gonna have a Zoom bratwurst.
Zoom barbecue.
a Zoom.
Zoom
Yeah, Zoom bratwurst. Exactly.
What?
No. So he says to me, "You better be careful because that has a swastika on it, and you're going to get suspended."
Suspended?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, from selling
From
on
for
eBay.
the electronic bay.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, come on. Let me just let it ride."
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, come on. Thanks a lot, military investor.
He's a pro.
Why don't you go sell your Jewish lampshade somewhere
Sure.
else? Okay, buddy. We're not buying it here. So anyway, about an hour later, I get a notification from eBay that I've been suspended.
Suspended.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So you can't. So,
So
all right.
it's out there?
No,
it's not
no,
online.
the entire listing's been removed.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
Well, why don't you go to Amazon or something?
it's not how Amazon works.
Yeah. Amazon, you don't just
See, I don't know.
sell
way,
like one thing.
Is it in the
What?
is it in your is
Yeah,
it here?
I have it. Yeah. I'll show it to
Well,
you.
let's take a look after the show.
Okay,
Maybe I'll
sure.
buy it.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
We'll do
And
a,
I
a
can sell it.
formal appraisal. Yeah.
I'll give
Howard's going to flip your Nazi belt
Right, I know.
buckle
Howard's gonna bite it like
out
a
on
jeweler.
Broadway.
Ah,
Yeah.
now this thing's gonna keep. No. Well, I'll tell you, you're not allowed. But by the way, let me tell you what
I think that's wrong.
I could not
it's a
agree
historic
more.
artifact.
On top of
You
that,
have to remove yourself a little
like,
bit.
over on that bookshelf,
Am I wrong?
okay.
I don't know.
Over on that bookshelf, I have a copy of the book, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich.
Yeah, of
right?
course.
Famous book.
Great study.
It's written by United States. It's an American book. It has a big swastika on the cover.
Yes, it does.
Are you
That's
telling
right.
me that I can't sell that book on eBay
Yeah.
just because it has a
Hmm.
swastika on the cover? You know what I mean? I hear what you're saying. It's not like this.
Well, I'm a free
Yeah, I guess
expression
is there some kind of rule against profiting on?
No, I'll tell you
I
what the
don't know.
rule is.
Was White profiting when he
I-
published the book? Yeah, I mean,
You know
made
what I
money
bet?
on the
You know what I
book.
bet
mean,
it
it's
is. I
crazy.
bet this is a squeaky wheel gets the grease situation. I bet somebody reported
Yeah,
it.
He probably
No,
did.
no.
That
Okay.
creepy guy.
No. Here's
Ooh,
think it was an inside job.
Maybe
I think so.
Butler.
No,
Butler.
here's what I think it is.
You
I
haven't
think,
talked to me about that yet.
I-
Go ahead. No, let's stay on this.
I think there are like I hate the word algorithm because we use it so much, but I think there's software at
Algo?
eBay where it shows you if there's a swastika, it flags it because I think
Yeah,
there is a policy.
because
It's just a blanket policy.
that's
that
an obvious
Could
one.
be. Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah.
That's an obvious one.
Yeah,
But
so-
yours had no context of preaching or
no
pushing
no,
pro-Nazi
it's-
because
point
you
of
didn't
view.
write anything in the copy about.
Oh,
Na-
maybe that was the
Nazis, did
mistake.
ya?
I didn't write like hashtag if only they won or
Right.
anything. I mean, it was just
Right.
like,
Sure.
but so
Hey,
anyway,
this is an artifact of the time
right.
for sale.
But and the guy
Basta.
told me because I had a little bit of back and forth with the guy on eBay, and he
Lem-
said all you have to do is blur out the swastika. So
Oh.
Yeah, but that's not.
so using
Isn't it large in this case, or is it just a small part of the?
size of a
but
belt
who's
buckle.
going to
It's
buy
like-
that then? They're going to say, "What the hell did you blur it
Yeah,
out
what
for?"
I
What
feel
is
like
that?
that would be
I
just
know.
very.
They're not going to
generic.
buy it.
Yeah, I don't want to get negative feedback when I'm trying to sell my Nazi belt
Right.
buckle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't he interested in it?
We're
anyway?
worried
If
about
he's
your
a
rating.
collector.
Yeah.
Why don't you just do the deal with him?
no like a side deal?
Yeah.
No, so anyway, so I think it was so funny because I was almost gonna because I feel badly sometimes. I feel like I ask you for too much. I was almost gonna send you the belt buckle thing and be like, hey, could you blur out just a little part of this swastika?
Oh, I could do that for
Because
you.
I bet if you got rid of like one of the little
just one of the prongs.
yeah, you got
Should we do an experiment? and
Yeah.
see
Think
how
one would
much
be
of the
enough?
swastika-
I bet it would
How
be.
about half?
Well, he said
That would be that would be true if it was your algorithm theory.
yes.
Yeah,
I
we
think
could
it's
test it. We
I-
could
yeah.
test it.
I think it's just
That'd be
that
fun.
simple. I think it's and also just to like I didn't even say this part. I also put there I had this big patch that is from a German naval patch and it's in really good shape and it has a swastika on it too and it's a big black patch. It's like 2.5 3 inches long by maybe 2 inches wide and I put that on eBay also and that has a big swastika on it but that seems to be okay.
Well, that's
Why
why,
is that? What?
That's why I think
How did
somebody
that get through?
That's why I think somebody may have
Somebody.
reported.
I think
Okay.
this guy did.
Let me tell you how crazy I think it is. I think it's
Mhm.
because it's stitched and it's embroidered, and this thing is aluminum or metal or something.
Okay,
That
maybe.
could
You think
be.
it's a material issue.
I think it's
You know, the
material.
sewing arts people have a lot of pull on that.
No pun
Okay,
intended.
you
On,
think
yeah.
the
They
embroidery
do.
lobby?
The embroidery lobby has a lot of
An
power. On
evil cabal of
Yeah,
the
cabal. You
right,
like that
right.
word? That's the
yeah,
word of
I
the
just-
du
yeah,
jour.
it really is.
Cabal.
The garment district. So
Hey, we got a chat from your boy Ovio Cool Cat.
What's up, buddy? Hey, buddy.
He says Brian been strip club. No shock that this is going to be about strip clubs in
None.
Albuquerque.
I think I created
Is
a
that
monster.
his specialty?
Little bit of backstory. So Ovio is a guy that is super nice guy, and he lives in Albuquerque. When I was in Albuquerque doing that TV thing, we met up, and then we went. He had never been to a strip club before. I don't think so. I think I'm right about
Oh,
that.
he had never.
I don't
He had
think
never
so.
been.
Oh,
He'll
that's
correct
Oh
me.
my
cute.
God.
He'll correct me
Okay.
right now. He's an adorable boy.
Yeah,
And
Adorable.
so we went to the strip club in Albuquerque. There's only 2, I think, in Albuquerque.
right. He
Is he
says,
underage or overage?
What?
Did you
He's
see his
of
birth
age.
certificate?
No, he's in his 20s. He's early 20s. I
okay.
think.
He's okay.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Just checking. I
he
wanna
says,
keep you,
Brian,
you know.
Brian been strip clubbing lately. By the way, TD's update. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
strip club.
That's
TD's.
the strip club, TD.
That's the name of the place.
Yeah.
Top-
Because it's in an old defunct TD bank.
Yeah, top dollar. Top dollar.
I can't.
Oh,
And
I love
Kelly
it.
Ripa strips there.
Uh-huh.
I can't
love
go.
it.
I can't go back there.
Oh no.
One night, I divulged too much information to one of my go-to strippers.
Oh
Okay.
my
He's
God.
got go-to strippers
Oh,
now, so
boy.
you may have
I
really.
have created a
Too
created a
much
monster.
information.
And we found out that
About what?
we found out our fathers know each other.
Uh-oh.
You know,
That's a good chat. That's a
Wow.
example of a great chat, right?
I tell you, Albuquerque, smallest little big city in New Mexico. I
Sure.
say it.
It's
Biggest
adorable.
little city.
Wouldn't it be better if he was like his sister? He's like getting a lap dance from her.
Right. It was
He's
his-
like,
Oh,
I've
wow.
never come so hard in my life. He's like, I ruined a pair
Yeah,
of
that would
Dockers.
be
Sure.
something.
Yeah, that's really funny. That is a weird thing to
You
talk.
have created a bit of a.
By the way,
something.
once you get to talking, and then turns out their dads
by
know
the
each
way,
other.
Ovio, just a little
It's a small.
just a
city.
little unsolicited advice. Don't get stuck in the friend zone with strippers, for God's sakes. You got to keep it. Got to peacock a little bit, neg
He
them a little
says
bit.
it's one of his go-to gals.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
Right.
You got to come in there. You know.
You
Gotta
know,
go
the crazy thing about strippers, they always say, like, I mean, I was taught as a teen or whatever that
Uh-huh.
like you're not going to pick up strippers.
oh, sure
It
you are.
never happens. But the reality is, if you go, I mean, there's so many just degenerate people that hang out in strip clubs. and
Yep.
lonely weirdos that if you actually go to a strip club and you're just a normal guy, you tip, you try to be funny,
Yep.
I might be
whatever.
attracted.
You are 100%.
Uh-huh.
I don't know that you want to do that,
You're
but
prime.
you can absolutely date a stripper.
Oh yes. I had.
That's what they
What,
won't tell you.
strippers date? Yeah. Hey.
This has been Man School with Adam and Brian.
That's right. I have a friend of mine who is a financial guy, and he lived downtown in the financial district. Go figure. And there's a place down there called the Dollhouse, and he was running a
going on?
swath through this place. I mean,
Whoa,
because he
nice.
he has a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
Sure.
He would go in there, and it was to the point where like they were just showing up at his doorman like at all
Adorable.
hours
Oh
of
my
the night.
God.
Yeah, but you can also nag strippers really easily. You can be like, oh, they make a scar cream for that cesarean scar,
Right.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, there was a place
That works.
in Long Island City near where I used to have like a studio space, and I dated a couple of gals
course
out of
you
the
did.
same place. You have to wait until one of them is gone. Like they can't be working together at the same time. But yeah, just hang out and just
If you
be
spend the
sort of
time and the
yeah, and I'm not
focus.
even talking like a lot. I mean, this was just maybe a couple of weeks. I would go there occasionally just
Yep.
for beers.
Yeah, and you're like waiting outside, like under a flickering street light. You're like, I had that dream again, the one where you and I are stitched together.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're like, sure, you're like, you've got like a plate of like a leaky casserole dish.
Right.
You're like, I made you some stew.
Right.
I made you stew. How's your family doing? All right.
Oh, by the way, Ovo says no. He had been to a strip club before, but only in New York. he
Okay,
said.
gotcha. Oh,
So you're
Yeah.
not fully responsible for the decline of Ovo.
I understand. Well, it's interesting because I am going to Los Angeles. Different cities, just so you know, Howard, are better
Los
for strip
Angeles.
clubs.
Oh yeah, I
than
can imagine.
Los Angeles is a terrible city for strip
Yeah.
clubs.
Really?
Yes.
How come?
You'd
think
There's a lot of people that want to be actresses,
It's
a lot
just
of
like a-
actors, chicks
it's-
phoning it in.
and it also has more to do, I think, with like you're really better off in Ovio, no disrespect to Albuquerque, but like sort of a second or third tier city.
Like Dallas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although Dallas gets a little obnoxious because it's like, welcome to the gold room where we got 48-ounce steaks and we pulled a white cowboy boots get in for free.
Yeah,
every
too
Friday.
many accoutrements.
Well,
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Like it for my money, best strip club town in
Which is
America,
the best one?
Philadelphia.
Is that right?
Yeah,
down.
real working class.
Yeah, you want to? Yes,
Is that right?
yes, because it's close. You all right? You okay, buddy? Container in your throat.
You got water there. If
we
you
do.
need it.
Do you need a refresh on your water? I'll go to
okay.
it. Okay.
No, he hasn't touched it.
Oh boy. All
Yeah.
right. It's actually triple sec. So yeah, no, Philadelphia, because New York is close enough to it where they're like, oh, you're from New York, and it's,
Yeah, that you could score.
yeah, but
points.
it is Philadelphia,
New
and
York.
also like there are like people think Atlanta, Georgia is a good strip club town.
They do.
It is,
Well-
but weirdly it's not. I think it's for something. There's something a little
Yeah,
off.
I don't
it.
like
Is there
those-
a Zagat's for that?
Oh, is that rating?
Rating?
No, but
Yeah.
I think we should start. Well, there is
That would be a
strip,
good.
there was like strip club list or something.
There's the erotic review.
erotic review.
Do they
There.
do all
did
the
they do strip clubs
in America?
They do like escorts and things like that. I've heard.
DER? Yeah,
I've heard.
my friend Jerry was telling me.
Yeah. So anyway, you want like a town, like but you don't like when you said about Dallas, like it's obnoxious to go to a place and they're like, we're a gentleman's club with get your own humidor.
Gentlemen.
And
Yeah, that whole thing.
no,
with
no,
the
no,
cigars and
yeah,
all that.
no. You want a Gallagher 2000.
I don't like the. I think Atlanta's good for like the making it rain, kind
Yeah.
of booty clapping,
It's a
kind of
performative.
which weirdly, actually, not really as much as I'm sort of on record. With the jungle fever,
Yes.
chronic jungle fever, but I don't like that type of.
No. I'm with you.
I'm not a drug dealer or a rapper. I don't have a ton of cash to just sort of like
Yeah.
throw everywhere.
No, it also like it feels demonstrative. It's not really. There's a
It's a whole scene. It's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
We want to go perv out.
yeah. Exactly. I really do.
Have
I
some
do want to.
penne.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to go upstairs. I want to go upstairs.
Yeah, he wants to go
Yeah.
upstairs.
Everybody wants to go upstairs.
I do have this the place that we always talk about is Gallagher 2000. It's in Queens, and
It is. What's the address?
just
It's I want to say like 47th Street, maybe.
What does that
40
mean?
yeah. He doesn't know.
Right off
Queens.
of Queens Boulevard.
What does
I
that
am.
mean?
Okay, now you're just being cunty. Yeah, listen,
All right,
it will take
I'll
you
get
there.
it after the show.
We'll take you there one
Yeah,
time.
wouldn't
Would
that
you- would you take me there
Wouldn't that be
seriously?
great if
Just for-
we
Yes.
maybe for like your
We do a
birthday?
trip to
When's
Queens?
your birthday?
April.
Yeah.
We don't want to
Okay.
wait
We
We don't
all
want-
that.
yeah, at your age, we're not waiting to your birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
We're at
Right.
April's.
Could we do it like?
I'll see what kind
Whenever.
of situation I'm in April, and yeah, I think we can make it happen.
right around the holidays. Well, let's go. Well, I
You
we
mean,
can fundraise. We can
and
fund.
Passover?
Maybe we can fundraise on
Yeah.
YouTube. And,
Well, how
and
much do we?
people can send super chats? And,
How much do we need to get in there? This
it's
place?
it's not
Oh,
a question of
no.
It's not that.
Although I will say,
Well, what?
okay, let me just. Well, I'll walk you through how
How are
it
we going to
goes.
do this? Yeah.
You go in Thursday afternoon. They're open during the day. There's
Yeah.
no cover. Okay.
Yeah.
But when you go in, you have to sit at the bar. Okay. Which is weird. And you're kind of like, okay, whatever, I'll get a beer or whatever. But the problem is like every 5 or 10 minutes, a new dancer will come around and they ask you for like, you have to tip a couple
Sure.
of dollars.
Didn't we calculate about what it costs at one point?
what's your rough,
let's say the song.
Hold
The songs
on.
are very short.
Yeah.
So
The
let's say
songs are
2-minute
short?
songs.
I would say you're probably looking at
So-
$60 an hour.
Yeah. So let's say
$60 an hour.
2 minutes per song. So 30 songs an hour.
Yeah.
And then
Times 3.
times let's say 2 girls, and if you're tipping a minimum, let's say like
Yeah.
I don't know, let's say
I always make a joke. I give them $1 and I go, can I get some change?
Ha!
They love it.
yeah, but
Jewish
yeah, about
approach.
$60 an hour, bare minimum.
Yeah.
$60 an hour.
And then what's going to happen is when you sit there, one of them's going to come over to you and they're going to glom on you and they're going to make it like they're your girlfriend, and then you
Then
have
what
to.
happens?
This is double diamond. You have to extricate yourself from that situation, and you almost have to be like kind of curt about it. And I don't mean Metzger. What I mean is you have to be like, hey, listen, nice, but we're just going to have a conversation. You almost have to cut it off immediately. It's like
Yeah.
crabgrass, because if you don't
Right.
immediately,
Right.
because
Right.
then what'll happen
Got
is she'll plant herself there,
All
then
right.
she'll bring over another one, and all of a
Right.
sudden you're kind of having a weird little party there, and the other dancers won't come anywhere near you. So
Okay,
you-
but if there's 3 of us there, we can handle.
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Fine,
you
we can-
trust me, it's
You
fine.
guys know how to.
It's fine, but you kind of have to like know the lay of the land a little
Right.
bit when you get there. And
Okay.
then here's how it goes. Then you go, and then when you see a dancer, they have $30 lap dances, okay, upstairs, which is a lot actually for a lap dance, you would think, but it's a very aggressive lap dance, okay? Or, and this is where the savings really kick in, they do a 15-minute $100 in the sort of cabana. They have these cabanas upstairs.
Oh my gosh.
And they have heavy curtains that close in front of them.
Wow.
And like I've had my friend goes there with his wife sometimes, and they get into all kind of nonsense. Like it's, and really $100 for $15. I know it may seem expensive. It's not expensive. Trust me. For whatever it goes, I've never done it, of course, but I've heard tales told. Let's just put it that way.
Sure. Let's go to Gallagher's.
Right. Yeah,
we read reviews.
I did. Yeah, I posted it on a Reddit. So anyway, so that's
okay.
So that's what it is. Yeah.
So that's what we'll do.
So that, but I guess to circle back to what Adam was saying, like for us, that's the definition of a good strip club, like a real pervy, weird scene. Like I'm not. Some people like they go, oh my god, the fucking jalapeno poppers are great.
Yeah.
Or they go, oh no, I like
the minestrones to die for.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I want a sad-eyed girl with an ankle bracelet.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Who doesn't speak much English. And I'll tell you what you like about the place.
Oh, there are a lot of alien girls?
Yeah, there's a lot of Kamala Harris types, if you know what I mean.
There's a couple.
Well, here's what it is also, Howard. It's kind of like West Side Story there, because you've got a lot of the Hispanic girls, very cute.
Right.
A lot of Dominicans, Dominican, Cuban, Colombian, the smattering of Venezuelan, whatever. And then on the other side of the bar, you're going to have your Eastern Europeans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
they all very much stick together. It's like prison.
Well, you have to.
And then you got your white supremacists.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the Woods, as they call them.
Yeah,
the Woods.
Pecker Woods.
I like it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Sociologically,
the one thing we keep talking about, which I don't think I've ever been there, because we go like on off hours. I don't think I've ever been there during prime time. I've never really been there.
Yeah,
like a Friday at 9 o'clock. I just wonder what that's, because we go there sometimes and there's 8 people in there. Like I don't even know how they stay in business. And the place is 5,000 square feet. It's huge.
Yeah.
So I don't really.
No, you want to go prime time. Yeah.
Well, yes and no. That's the thing. If you go
too busy,
well, it's a real. You got to really. It's like making a souffle.
I've had better times with the lunch hour.
And I will say this
in the last couple of years, but that also may have just been by chance too.
It's also, if you go when it's busier, it's kind of like I said, it's a delicate ballet, because you're going to go at night. It's going to be better talent. Okay. But with that better talent, you're going to have a lot more people. And like, it's just, I don't know. I'm curious to go at night. There's a reason why I don't usually go. I mean, I don't really go out at night anymore. I feel like I'm turning into Howard Hughes. I just stay at home and I just bottle my jars of urine and date them. And I just
that's what happens when you get older.
You don't want to leave the house, right? What time do you go to bed at night?
Nowadays, about 11.
Oh, all right.
That's not too bad.
How is and I don't want to blow up your spot, but how's your home life? How's it going with the girlfriend?
Better.
Okay, good. All right. So there was just kind of a rough patch. Kind of.
It's kind of hard to tell, but it's better right now.
It's better. That's good.
Yeah.
How's the dog run?
Dog run is great. Everybody, forgot about you completely. Nobody asked Brian. They don't even know who you are.
You got to go, have your presence known.
Why don't you come over and
stop by and shake some hands, kiss some babies.
And
you're
plus,
on the wrong side of the 79 crosstown.
I don't make the shift of. It's like the 6:30 shift, which I would do when I lived across the street from the place. It was easy, but I can't like set an alarm for 6:30. And I mean, how lonely am I?
Yikes! Go across town.
Wake up at. So, have there been any like new cute single girls? If you have to think about it,
probably not.
No. Yeah. Well, there were. I mean, there was.
There's some. Yeah, there's some girls.
Remember that
now? But
there was that super cute Asian girl with the husky that I hooked up with that the Jewish kid Josh, and they like dated for dated is a strong word.
Josh.
Remember him?
Whatever happened to them? Did they get married?
No. I mean, but he got in there. He
did.
He put it up on the board a couple of times.
Good boy. Yeah.
And she put the kibosh on it. Oh. I think she kind of freaked out because,
who knows?
She went to Princeton. She was from Queens, first generation.
Oh,
like
East Asian,
Chinese.
I think
from the Xingdong province. If I have to,
that's one of
from
my
the Ding Dong
favorite provinces.
It's one of the best provinces.
So, but Josh wasn't exactly
not during monsoon season. Well, Josh
Or type
also.
or what? Who knows? Love is
Josh had like an
blind,
18-year-old daughter from it. He had a whole lot going on. So
Yeah,
I don't-
Josh did have a whole lot.
Yes.
Wait a minute, that's the bartender guy. Who
No.
was-
No, Josh was from the neighborhood and lived in a brownstone on like 88th Street.
Oh, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
not around really, or at least
No.
I mean it's been a while for me anyway.
Yeah,
but
no.
yeah, he actually came and did this show
he did
with his Armenian girlfriend. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
then-
with his Armenian
Yeah,
girlfriend.
and-
Was this
or
after the
Albanian.
other girl?
Oh yeah, it was
Why?
after.
Who's getting around?
Well, it's,
right, and she
and-
like freaked out and wanted things,
yeah,
wanted us to take it down
Yeah.
or something.
he and I kind of had a little bit of a falling out because
On
after
the show, you mean?
well, I'll tell you. After the show, he called me like, and he was like, "Hey, she's nervous that she's not." By the way, this really made me think. If you think this show has this kind of power, he goes, "She's worried she won't become an American citizen
Oh my
because
God.
she did the show. Can
Yeah.
you take it down because of all
Well,
the?"
and it wasn't like we put her full name on it.
No.
If you put somebody's full name on it,
Right.
Well,
Yeah, maybe they
we can
could
do
Google
it by
it.
the facial
Right.
recognition.
I don't think that immigration is going to do that.
Well, these days
I-
they're not paying attention to anything. So
Okay. I told him. I just,
11 million are in illegally, so I wouldn't worry about it.
I told him, and they all live on my block.
That's right.
yeah.
I've noticed the
Yep.
demographic change
Oh my God,
here
really is. There's that right? We have
coming
a,
across
as a
town.
mulatto across the street. No, so essentially he said to me, "Hey, could you take the show down?" And I was like, "No, I can't take the show down. Like it's fine. Like
How
we don't,
could you do it even if you wanted to?
Well, I mean,
I
I
mean, we
could.
have the power, but
You
it's
do?
like, yeah,
or I'm not going to
yeah.
go.
What do you think? It's just, no, I
No.
can't.
well, I
I
don't
have
know.
no
Can
control.
Can you literally just?
This isn't like
Of
war
course,
game.
yeah, I can fucking nuke the whole thing.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
thought it goes out on.
Well, it does, but
sites and
unless
stuff.
people download it, which typically people they watch it right on the interface. So if you take it off,
Right.
you're good.
There's
Yeah.
nothing there.
Okay. If you
No.
download it, then you have it. But most people just stream it and that's it. They don't like save them, in like a
Right.
binder.
Well,
or
they
something.
save it on the it's on the page, but we have control of whether we take it off the page.
Yes.
So,
So-
take it off. Are you trying to get her in trouble or something?
No. But I told him, I said, look, we're not using her last name, and she's being neurotic,
Right.
and I'm sorry. Like I
Should have thought about that before you come on. the
something
show,
like
not
that.
after.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's,
Plus
Sweetie.
censorship issues and shit.
well, I mean, I'm not like but you have to. It's not some line of demarcation. Like it's like, listen, if we did that for everybody or whatever it is, it would be anyway. Whatever. I don't even talk to the
Was
guy.
she legal in any sense
I
when
have
she
no.
was on?
She
We
wasn't
don't
even.
know.
She called in,
Maybe she
right?
was illegal. Oh, she called in. She wasn't
She
even
wasn't
on
even
camera?
on
What?
the-
Yeah, I believe it was just a phone call.
It was just a
oh, right,
phone-
yeah, because he was going to bring her with,
Right.
and then she canceled.
Right.
So then we called. It was we were horsing
Well,
around.
maybe it was a
Yeah.
wrong number that she called in.
No, it
you
was-
could come up with stuff.
She was being neurotic, and I think. Listen, I don't think like Eastern Europeans. I don't get in trouble here if
Yeah,
especially
watch
if you're on
out now. We're
if you're on the
painting with a broad
Patreon,
brush.
an American sensibility. We're very sort of relaxed and kind of loosey goosey, and she was a little like, she was uptight about her situation, whatever it was. So fine, but again, we didn't use her last name, and it was like, who cares? But but when
How
he was
long ago did all this
it was
happen?
like 2.5 years ago.
Oh, so it's okay.
it's fine.
It's nothing ever.
It would have
happened.
been fine if it was a month ago. I don't care. But
Right.
like, it was also the kind of thing where he was.
Pardon.
I said to him, he was like, "Can Adam just go through and like bleep out her name every
Oh, right.
time?" And
Yeah,
we were
she
like,
wanted-
"Dude, I'm not."
He wanted like
Josh.
censored. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, buddy,
It was
come
the
on.
whole thing.
Yeah,
You
It's
never
like
know what people are going to come up with. The weirdest.
people
shit,
are
right?
very paranoid about what they put out. They don't realize that people are a lot more laid back than.
Oh, and
And
also,
there's not that many people from ICE listening.
people
I
also,
wouldn't be sure about that.
And
They don't
al-
have the budget. You're right.
people don't realize what a pain. You would have to sit there and literally every time she said
Yeah.
her name,
I mean, it would take me probably an hour and a half.
Charge
Yeah.
them.
Which
just not.
I could have just
make
said
some
something
money.
in voice.
You're, by the way, you're kidding. I think I actually said to him because it got.
I think you may have because you're like, hey, I got to pay the guy to fucking do it. We're not just
So
gonna.
did Josh say, "Okay, pay him"?
Nice.
Pull
Let's
out
just
the check.
let's just say he doesn't celebrate Christmas, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
That put an end to that conversation.
Uh-huh.
Once I said it's going to cost a few shekels there.
Sure. Josh.
Yeah.
Was he Jewish?
Yes. Yeah. Upper West. He's grew up in the Upper West Side.
So I knew this
All right,
guy.
let's run down the line. say
Where's
hi
my
to some
boy? Did he?
folks. I don't believe your boy ever.
What happened to him?
Well,
Whatever.
I'm gonna call
That's
out
all
some
right.
names, and if you recognize
okay.
the name,
All right.
hi to our boy James O'Sullivan,
Hello, Jimmy boy.
our boy Ted,
Hi, Ted.
our boy Matthew.
Hi,
It's
Matthew.
not Matthew, is it?
No.
Our boy Leo.
Hello, Leo.
We're in Leo, by the way.
Our boy Decline host.
Hey, Decline host.
Paul.
Hello, Paul.
Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Any
Joe-
women listen to this?
Joe
thing?
says hello, boy. Well, we'll see. None that have left comments today.
They never do.
Joe says hello, boys. A day early.
Yeah,
I did.
We
I
are
already
a day
got that.
early today. It's Thursday.
Yep.
Nips Brennan, who was very vocal.
Yep. Thank
Josh
you.
Jack says, "Hey, folks."
Hey, Josh. Jack.
Is that Josh?
No,
That Josh?
not Jack. We didn't
No,
say Jack.
different Josh.
Josh.
Yeah,
Different
Jack
Josh.
Steen.
Joshua
Jackstein.
Jackstein.
Joshua
Jackstein.
Nick, our boy Nick says, I'm pretty sure the founding fathers weren't born in the USA. LOL. Anyway,
Oh.
gotta
Okay,
go.
just one on that.
Oh, shit.
Just one on that.
Oh, boy.
That is correct. And there is a grandfather clause in the
Yeah.
natural born
What did-
citizen
Hey, what,
clause.
did he
to
give
cover
you?
that.
Wait, did he give you a
Yeah.
hard candy?
Wait, what do you got?
Did he give
Hey,
you a
I
hard
heard-
candy?
I heard there's also a Santa Claus.
Fucking
No.
Fucking came down my chimney once. He ate all my cookies.
The grandfather clause is in there to answer that.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Hello to the dude.
Hey, dude.
It's
Hi.
not the dude. That could be your friend. The dude. No?
Yeah, you know what? He said he was going to use a nom de plume.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't say. All he said was Big A. So I don't know what that
Big
means.
A?
He just said Big A with.
That could be him.
I don't know.
He was
Well, he
disguising this person.
Okay. Hi to, of course, Ovo.
Hello, Ovo.
OVO.
Hi,
Whose
OVO.
comment we read. Let's see who else. And mostly Ovo. And then our boy Nick says, Adam trying to explain how the internet works to older men needs to be its own podcast. I think that could be its own OnlyFans.
That could be its own show.
I think
yeah.
there might be some people that would like to whack it to that.
Like you're
maybe.
sitting on Howard's lap, you know, and
Yes.
in front of a gateway laptop.
Sure.
Right.
Yes.
But you're only using a Netscape browser, really nerdy, you know.
Gallagher's across.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brought to you by Gallagher's.
We've
Yeah.
talked about doing a live or a podcast
Live
from
from
Gallagher's, but
Gallagher's?
it's
Sure.
It
wow.
would be tricky. We'd have to have their consent, which I
Yeah.
don't know.
That would be too complex.
We could guerrilla. Well, I'm happy to do a guerrilla style.
Could you
but
really?
I would love it.
I think
if
it'd
they-
have to be pre-recorded. and
It's
then
also
put
too
up.
loud in there.
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
loud.
It's pretty loud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would
Yeah.
We,
be.
what if we had little lavalier mics?
Well, if you're
We'd
down,
go to
I'm
the
down.
spy store. We'd have to buy some equipment.
Giant glasses that have cameras in them. You just have a boom mic sticking out of your back.
Live from Gallagher.
Right.
Yeah. I go in and I boom the
So-
thing.
Yeah. So, what part of Caracas are you
Sure.
from?
What's that?
Yeah.
Why is that butch lesbian with the cargo shorts holding that?
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
giant-
Yeah. Exactly.
Don't mind her.
Hollywood Howard has come down the stairs, just jizz all over his fucking
Sure.
khakis. Yeah,
Good clean fun.
absolutely.
All right.
And remember, if you're listening, just like, subscribe, and it's helpful, the comments and all that kind of stuff. So we certainly appreciate all your support. Should we pop over for the
Yeah,
Patreon?
so let me just give a quick little rundown. We're gonna pop over to the Patreon, which it goes live.
Yep.
And then also, if you want to do a membership on YouTube now,
Oh,
you can become a member, and
Yep.
then you also get that you get that show. You get an extra 30, 40 minutes that
Yep.
we do every week. So,
so
do that too. if
that's
you
all
want.
set up. Although I'll tell you something funny. We're trying to set up the Google payment thing with YouTube, and I am convinced, because my state ID, I can't drive, my New York state ID, I look so fat in that picture because I'm like 55 pounds heavier in that picture, that Google, it won't recognize, because I have to.
But they don't. Well, they have no frame of reference because
Well-
you didn't put in like a picture now.
Well, if you will, I'm putting in my passport, which is only from like 6 months ago, and that picture. So I think, like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm convinced, because the last couple times I've flown, I've used that state ID, and I
Okay.
break the face machine. They have to bring over some other person from TSA, and they're like, and I have to say to them, hey, it's because I've lost a lot of weight. I don't look like the picture. And they
Wow.
have to, they get one of those Chinese guys that sketches you in the park.
Okay,
They bring
yeah.
one of those guys out.
Those guys are good. $5.
You'll
They're
re-
amazing.
Yeah, they go,
artist rendering.
you like a soccer? You like a soccer ball? You like a soccer bar? they
That's
put
racist.
one of those caricatures with a soccer ball.
Sure.
under your
Yeah,
arm.
You're on
I love those
rollerblades.
caricatures.
What's your
I love those.
what's your
They're so
favorite
cute.
rock and roll band? You
Rock and roll,
you
you
like
man.
you like a
Yes.
burritos? You like a burritos music? Sorry.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Do
clean
Jackie
fun.
Mason
All
doing
right.
that.
Hey, nothing. You like a burritos? I take the pencil. I go over to
Love
the
that.
thing.
Love that.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Say goodnight, Jackie.
Yeah. All right,
All right.
everybody. Remember, thank you, and join the Patreon or the membership. You know, we could whatever. That's it. Trying to get some money together for this trip to fucking.
Yeah.
I got to do some cheating.
How about your boy?
Yeah,
All
that's right. We'll be